What are you going to say about it?
I did not think that was a penalty, like Don. I did not. I just thought Lucas Digne was jumping for it. I mean, it's a classic case of, hold on, ref, corner kick, let's all tie our hands to our side, then we'll jump.
Right.
It was extended, but it wasn't above his head. I thought that was another bad decision.
Let's talk about Howard Webb then, of course, coming in to be in charge of the referees in the Premier League. Don, what was he telling you?
Well, he was just talking in general how, I mean, he can't solve everything, but he had some sort of bright ideas about sort of fast-tracking ex-players into being referees. Obviously, that's very delicate and it's difficult because you can't just fast-track someone because he was a player then become a Premier League referee. So there has to be, you know, a certain amount of education that they need. But his ideas were interesting. He was allowing us to bounce some ideas off him. He was saying he's been watching the World Cup. He watched the Man City-Liverpool, the Carabao Cup game that had no VAR and it ran pretty smoothly and it made for a great game. So I think his ideas are going to be, Dan, that he wants VAR to sit a little bit more in the background. I think in the minute it's in the foreground, it's every 5 minutes, we're looking at VAR, we're micromanaging every decision that the referees are making, and he wants to take a little step back and he wants the football to be the football, and then only when things are really clear and obvious, when something's missed, VAR's then going to dive in. So it's a difficult one for him, it's a juggling act for him, because they want to stay in the background, but at the same time, they need to be efficient and effective. So he spoke well, I must admit. He's quite forthright, and he's someone that you want to listen to.
Why don't ex-players get involved, Don? It makes sense, doesn't it? You always say, you know, you've got these officials who don't know the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would be open for ex-players to be involved in VAR for sure, but not just fast-tracking them to be referees, because that's you know, I'm sure the lads will tell you. I mean, we know the majority of the laws, but we don't know all the laws. So trying to go back to school and trying to go back to college and learning all the laws won't be easy, because we'll probably referee a game like we played the game and we'll probably let a little bit go. And I think what doesn't help as well, Dad, is if you get an ex-player that's then becoming a referee and then he's getting analysed from an assessor in the stadium and he's getting criticised and he's being marked down because he's made what they think is some bad decisions or poor decisions when he's let certain free kicks go, but then we feel as though the flow of the game's better. I mean, how on earth do you try and manage that? But his ideas are good. He thinks a lot more ex-players should be fast-tracked to be referees. I think VAR for sure.
Well, I mean, we might as well have it out now. I'm available.
Wow, there you go. Craig is available. I can second that. Take him, please. Take him.
I mean, I have to say, Don, I have to say, this is food for thought in terms of a bargaining tool for contracts. If indeed there is such a thing needed, there you go in.
Go with the boss's office.
Bang the desk when he says, nope,
Craig,
this is... Go on, Don.
The trouble is, mate, it's under 40s.
Yeah, that's me.
He wants the age. You're not under 40.
I am in my own mind.
You can't move at the moment because you're Achilles.
Yeah, but I need something to focus on. If I go in there to our boss's boss and say, if you don't do this, I'm going to be a ref. Right? Sort it.
You could buzz around on one of those mobility scooters. Following the game. Say, there you go. You're off.
Wow.
Shaka, why do ex-players have any desire to get involved with this?
No. And this outreach to ex-players has been going on ever since I've been playing. But after you play football for a certain amount of time, you recognize the disregard that players have for referees. It's a tough sell to then say to players, now that you're through playing, come and referee. And more times than not, you kind of starting lower down in the lower leagues. The money there isn't great, so there's no real incentive. Where if you're talking about Premier League referees who now and over the last few years have become professional, and you can earn more of a living from it, and they have lifted the kind of a maximum age of a referee. You still have to work your way up to that point, and I don't think players again are willing to start at the lowest rung of refereeing, because like everything else, as you play the game, you feel you know the game, but refereeing is a different skill set altogether. I just don't think ex-players want to put up with that. They don't want to put up with players who were exactly like them when they were playing.
Well, they don't, but I mean, I wonder if there's... I mean, I can't believe it's Christmas Eve and we're talking about who wants to be a referee. I mean, there's not many asking for that for Christmas, is there? Let's be honest.
Not many referee kits under the tree.
No, not really. And then they don't prance about with them on. But, you know, there has to be... I mean, I wonder if there is and I'm being all seriousness now. Shaki mentioned the lower leagues, right down the bottom of the pyramid. These guys earn, some of them, not all, 11. But when that career finishes, and when it's about to finish, they've earned enough to live on at the time.
Right.
But they're not. I mean, maybe some of the boys in the championship.
They're not sorted for life.
No, they're not even close. They have to finish. They have to finish. And they have to go out and work on a building site. They have to go and do a university course if possible. They have to go and train themselves to do something else. They have to start looking at that long before their career finishes. If there was an incentive for some of these guys who've played and understood the game for many a year in non-league or League Two or whatever it is, to go and have the potential to earn a referee's salary at the end of it, which I think could be anything between 50 and 100,000, maybe more, I don't know. That has to be something, surely, that guys down the bottom end of the pyramid might, even if it was 10% of them, 5% of them, interested in having a career that's in football after playing. I have to believe there would be people interested, because a lot of these guys really struggle, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean really, and managers.
Yes.
I know a lot of managers that are down and have never managed at the top end, they've managed down the bottom. When they get sacked, they get 50 grand at most, see you later, never get another job. There has to be some out there that are prepared to go and do the training, surely.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.